journey and series of breaking down and developing my shot. Um, Obviously, when I'm on the court this time, I'm changing up a little bit. Going through like a little film session, just trying to see where I'm at. Looking over the video from last week. This is my first time really looking at it, so kind of seeing where I'm at, seeing where I'm going. It's hard for me to. Let me turn it down a little bit. I don't know how loud this is, but it's gonna be hard to um, figure out where I'm going in this journey without knowing where I'm at. You feel me? So if my goal is to get to Texas and I'm in Georgia, then obviously I'm going west. But if I'm coming from Cali, I'm going east. It's a different direction to go. So, in order me to get to where I want to get to, I have to know where I'm at. So this is me getting directions and knowing where I'm at. I'm stopping right here on this journey and like, okay, where am I at in this? Am I in Texas yet? No, I'm out in Louisiana. Am I in Alabama, Mississippi? No, I'm still in Georgia. So stopping, getting a feel for where I'm at, looking at my shot, breaking it down. It's my first time looking at it, so y'all finna learn with me. Looking back over what my shot looks like and just seeing little stuff I can break down and tweak and change. So um, look at this. All right, let's jump a little bit. Somebody talking too much. All right, so looking at this free throw, um, most of y'all probably looking at my feet and like, man, why is his feet turned that way? He's not facing 10 toes to the rim. Well, it's not the most conventional thing. If you look at a lot of players, like who's a good example? KD's a great example. His feet are really, really different. I don't say weird, but it's just different. Um, so I feel a little more comfortable turning my feet this way. I actually kind of stole this from D Wade. Um, he turned his feet this direction. I was trying to be like him, so I just do the same thing, and it feels a little different for me. But I feel good with it. So looking from the back, that's where my feet are at. Um, Looking from right here, my set point is about right here, a little above my head, not bad. Elbow doesn't seem to be too far out, which is cool. My follow through is good. Nice little shot. Nothing too crazy. Like I said, my form ain't bad. It's just I see it can grow, and seeing where it can grow is my biggest thing right now. I wonder if I can zoom in on here. I can't. That's cool. Missing shots, man. What you doing there, man? Uh, yeah, I want to get forward through that. So now looking from the side, slight bend in the knees. Drop the speed down on this a little bit, halfway. It's the so one thing that I realized early on in my show, I wish I could zoom in on here, but if you look at my wrist, um, I used to come in with like my wrist unloaded. So let me get the ball right quick. No, I don't need that. But I used to come in with my wrist being a little more flat and not having to load it early in my shot. So I'll be here early in my shot, and I get up and I cock it back, and I'll just kind of like almost slingshot it to this spot right here, and I go forward with it. And that's one thing I wanted to change too. That's before this day, but being more consistent with that is my goal. And so from right here, so my wrist would be kind of straight right here, and then coming here is when it'll finally like flip back. So it'll be here, and it'll flip back here and go forward. I want to get rid of that. So that's something I've been working on a little bit before this. Um, but as you can see right there, you might be able to see it. My wrist is a little bit more. Um, Let me take it off this. Wrist is a little bit more flexed early on. So right there, it's a little more flex. It's not bad. See it at the top of the shot. It's there. So shot ain't bad. You know. ain't too bad, man. The real test is gonna be from looking from the front and getting a closer look. I actually want to come back to this. I don't look at that right now. Where is that? I want to go back to the free throws. Yes, this is a great look right here. So yeah, this is a really good view to really look at your shot. I do this with a lot of my players, where you can really see the path of the ball, look at the alignment of the ball, and uh, get a feel for a lot more. So um, once again, you see my feet, turn at that angle, probably like 11 o'clock, rather than like straight line with 12. If you look at the clock, this would be 12 o'clock, and then at this angle, closer to 11, which ain't bad. Uh, So one thing I see right off top is the path of the ball. So the ball starts here and it comes right here, almost to the side of my head. So it's not bad, but it's a slight that little, you know, angle of the ball can be a little cleaner. So I might tweak that with my shot. Hand placement can be a little better too. I don't judge it too much off of that one shot. Let's look forward. So yeah. The hand placement. So if you look at where I place my right hand on the ball, it's a little bit on the side still. I'm not in love with that. It's a little taking my ball, but instead of being here right behind it, it's a little more off to the side, which ain't bad, but I see where my shot can like the power comes from being more in line behind it. Um, so that's one tweak. Cause you see how it's like my hand's not directly underneath the ball; it's more on the side, and so finally get up here, it pushes off and it goes into my one hand, which is cool. You feel me? But it can be better. I'd much rather have it just a little bit cleaner all the way through. So if I had my hand loaded a little bit better and the ball's over, it'll be a straight path up and it'll flow a little smoother. Like the ball's coming that way and then forward, so they clean it up some. Um, that's one small tweak I can make. If y'all see that ball path, I can clean it up some. Starts there, so starts right here, like center of my body. Like it just goes over a little, which ain't bad, but it can just be better. One thing I do like is my follow through. I used to struggle with that some. My follow through is pretty clean. Like you see, hand. I use a little bit of my thumb-ish area. I don't use my thumb this area, but I do push off here a little bit. I'm gonna play around with this and see if I get this off some. See what that is, or if I get it strictly full hand here. I don't have to push off here, so I'm gonna play around with that a little bit. That follow through is like that's a real good gooseneck too. I'm full with that. Yeah, it's a good snap. Um, I used to struggle with that before doing this whole series. Um, my shot would be a little inconsistent because the follow through wouldn't snap all the way. I wouldn't, get the full extension. I fully extend, but because I didn't like lock out and get enough little popping emphasis on my elbow, it wouldn't have the same power and everything that it needed. Yeah, I gotta clean that up. I gotta get the more. Get it more on my right hand a little more. So I made 5 for 5. That's what I was saying right there. Now this is a little more zoomed in from the back angle. Now see, this is a better angle you can see. So you see where the ball is sitting in my hand. See how the center of the ball, I wish I had a thing, I don't know. But see how the ball center is right here and it's not on completely on my hand. Get out the way, mouse. And it's not centered more on my hand. It's like split between both hands. I had to get this hand underneath it more and get that hand more to the side or more to the top. So that's one thing I need to fix for sure. Like most definitely gotta fix that. So get in my right hand. I'm taking little notes just so y'all can see. Got my little applesauce for the side, you know, it's my little snack, post-workout snack. But yeah, so right hand, um, yeah, get my right hand underneath the ball, slash control hand or guide hand. More to the side. And I saw this picture with Dame. That'll be a dope. Wish I could pull it up, but slash top. But yeah, get my right hand more underneath it, and cause that'll increase my power, and I can get more power underneath it and make it flow a little better. And that'll give me, I can be able to take that left hand off now because everything's coming from my right hand. Like I'm a decent shooter. I make my shots though. It's just when I'm missing, why am I missing, and how am I missing? That's a little better. See how the center of the ball is almost on my index finger here? It's not that bad, but it can be a little shifted more to my right hand. So I'm gonna clean up that for sure. Most def gotta keep that clean up because it leaves a little more consistency into my shot. Yeah, I gotta. That's the one biggest thing I see right now. Just getting that ball a little more centered to my right hand. Um, Earlier into my shot, right when it gets to that shot pocket up top. I think I'm done with that. All right, let's go back to that first stuff I skipped. Now we can play around with. Now it's just me shooting around. One thing I do a little bit on my sometimes catch and shoot off the dribble shots. I fade a little bit, and I turn and kick my right foot. So sometimes that's a balanced shot. Sometimes it's not. It's cool, but I want to get a little more consistent with that too. It's not a huge issue, but it's just something I can. It's not the biggest thing that's preventing me from making shots right now. You can't really see too much from here. It's not close enough. My shot look good though. Pretty balanced stance. One thing a lot of kids have an issue with, so they see to my feet how wide my feet are. At about shoulder length apart, you know, somewhere relatively close to that. And you see as I land, they're about the same weight, same length apart. A lot of kids have issues to where either A, let's go back. So let's go back. So they might start here, and on the finish, their feet will close in. So I might start here and be balanced and then close in right here, or they start here and they'll drift and turn some kind of way here. You want to start here and finish here. That's the biggest thing. Even if I start here where my feet are a little off like this, you want to start here and finish it. That's the best you want to do. So just be consistent, because think about your shot like flowing like water. If you have the water starting right here and you have, for some reason, one half of the creek flowing faster than the other half of the creek, you're causing imbalance at some point by shifting it. Not the best example I can give right now, but um, y'all putting a lot of pressure on me on the middle of my film session with this. But just a decent example of how you want your shot to flow. So you want it to flow like water and not force stuff. So if you're starting there with 10 toes to the rim, and you're even and balanced, then you want to finish here. If you're starting here a little, so one foot a little in front of the other, then you want to finish there, because everything flows together. So my shot's pretty decent with that when I come out the dribble. That's what I'm talking about too with that kick, which isn't bad, but I do it sometimes when I don't need to, at least to imbalance shots. And it's back to this. I'm jumping this. I like this one. This is gonna be a good angle, so I can really see better. So yeah, that's a good example to look at. So my pickup's about right here in the middle of my body, and my finish is to the right, top right, which ain't bad. I just might be overthinking it. It might not be that bad. Of course, need to adapt and change, but for consistency's sake, just looking into that. Get that wrist a little more loaded. Ain't too bad. My flow of the ball can be a little better too. See how um, the timing is a little off. This is a really good example. This is the timing is a little off. I need to work on that. So I dip, and me and the ball aren't in sync, not as well as it should be. So the ball dipped a little faster than me, and the ball's rising before I'm rising, and so now it's more of a two what's it called? Two movement shot, and it kind of like catapults a little. So that's one thing I need to work on too, the synchronizing of my shot. Not an all the time thing, but I do feel it sometimes. So that's one thing to tweak and work on. See, right, that's not a bad example. Yeah, a couple of these shots I was a little short arming, not getting a full follow through. See, that's the next thing too, making sure my follow through is high and soft. High, soft, and full extension or full follow through. That was a pretty decent one. Going back to the three ball. I don't like that one. The follow through on that one, pushed a little to the left. Yeah, to that left. Not in love with that one. That was pretty good one. I shot pretty decent, man, but I still see I can tweak those few things. Make sure the ball's under my hand is underneath the ball a little more, and a strong, solid follow through. All right, well, I'm taking y'all now. I'm doing more 3 balls here. Uh, that's terrible. That's terrible. What are you doing there? Somebody getting buckets? Who that guy is? Oh, this is a good one. Look at my feet. See how my feet came so close together? It's not a great shot, B. But some of that's just because of the angle I take. So me starting here, I'm pushing to get a little more force into it, and I shoot pigeon toes sometimes. Uh, Getting a wing view. Remember that leg kick I told you about? Here it goes again. Like, why do that right there? Man, don't want to take me that far. Just got to get more balance shooting. I ain't mad about that one. See, a lot of my shots I miss are left, and now I'm realizing. Now I really see why, because I don't have my hand completely underneath. So I'll push it, which would be good, but I'm pushing a little to the left now, when it should be going from here and more forward. So some of my shots, because my hand is little here on the ball, I'll push more that way rather than being here and pushing forward. So I have to either A, push more from here so everything is going forward this way, which is why people use both hands, or I have to get my hand more underneath the ball and push forward. So I'm gonna play around that and see what feels comfortable. It's the most important thing. Uh, what else we got? I want to get to the real thing I want to get to next is like my range shooting, cause that got ugly. But I have to see what my form is for all 3 levels. I don't care about this too much anymore. So yeah, let's jump forward to the last little bit. I was struggling this to really get my shot and knock it down. And then this probably goes back to my form, my follow through. A lot of my shots were hitting front of the rim, and they're relatively soft. This is probably a good 3 feet behind the 3-point line here. I think I get that shot a little higher. See the peak of it? That's a pretty high shot, B. That's a relatively high shot. Maybe just the angle, but that's a pretty high shot. Yeah, it's somewhere above the backboard. I feel like that might be a good enough height. So from shooting deep, I'm trying to use my regular shot a little too much. I mean, I can. I go better with momentum. I have to use my flow a little better. Shooting from that deep is really got to be more accurate. I'll probably make a video on how to shoot from deep, like the tweaks and changes to make to extend your range to shoot from deeper. I can shoot this shot and I can make it, but I'm not like a consistent shooter with it. That was pathetic. You better shoot it in that. So yeah, yeah. It's look. I don't like that one. I'm really forcing. It doesn't look smooth and effortless as it should look. And I was terrible with this. But so yeah, I found my two biggest things I can tweak on my shot. Yeah, I'm probably make a video. I'm struggling with this jump, bro. I cannot make a deep ball consistently. I probably hit like 3 out of 20. I want a bad shot. That was a good miss. I wonder who I play like a little bit, who I shoot like in y'all eyes. Oh, somebody getting buckets. Little splash. There you go. Now we're looking good. And this is one thing too. Like I realized when I make my shots, this jump looks pure. Like he goes in and like nothing but net a lot of times, and that's the result. I ain't trying to brag, but like when I'm making my shots, it looks good like that. And that's probably because I'm getting my hand underneath it enough to where it's gonna look good and follow through rather than pushing it sometimes. Usually when I'm making shots, it splashes through. Like I really don't use too much rim. But now the goal is to get more consistent, keep tweaking and changing to where that's the result more often. Like making it is more of the result. You splash 20 on your air ball. You splash the next one. I figured it out. All I needed was one. Just figure out how to shoot from there. So yeah. So I think shooting from deeper too, my mistake is like I said before, figuring out that rhythm and range to where me and the ball are going down and going up at the same time and everything flows. And going deeper, like you have less room for air the deeper you go. Like a lot of my shots were just short here. Air ball. Like it wasn't like a terrible miss left or right. A lot of it was just short. Once again, when I make it, it's nothing but net. Like I can shoot decent. Like if I edit this and just cut all the makes, I guarantee a high percentage of my shots would be nothing but net. Oh yeah, I can do it and fact check me. Really don't mind being corrected right here. Yeah, I stopped just shooting. I started throwing it up the rim. A couple of them. That was a terrible one. I felt myself a little bit, and that's why that's the end result. See how my hips drifted. I was tired. I was mentally tired, physically tired. I probably felt embarrassed too, cause I was everybody out there looking at me. Like, that boy can't shoot, airballing. Nigga Steph Curry. Nah, but I'll shoot him. But yeah, man. I don't like that. Give me some months. I don't know. I'm gonna put a number on it, but I'm gonna be able to knock that shot down consistently. On me being at my height, that'll be a dope shot to have. Just because, in the way I play too, if I can get that much range and extend you out the defense out that far, that'll be a nice little piece. Just because I'm so short. That was a good one. I felt that one. I can tell by the way I followed my shot on that one. That was good. So walk it down like that. Once again, bro, like I don't use too much room on my shot. I was probably done with this. I'll probably finish you out with some free throws again. Yeah, always my workout. I usually begin and end my workout with free throws. So yeah, now we can look at this follow through. A real good example of my follow through to make sure. So yeah, I do want to tweak that just a tiny bit. So my follow through goes right there, which isn't bad at all, but I do want to get just a tiny bit higher. So instead of follow through right there, I used to be kind of like right there at that angle. But I got it up some. So now I'm trying to get up a little bit more. So it's a little bit higher, a little bit softer shot. Right there, that's a better one. That's a good one I'd rather have. Let me see. How far back can I go? It's a pretty decent follow through. I have been working on. That's another thing. I said this earlier. It's working on my follow through, making sure it's a little higher. The last look, front view. Yeah. Oh, another thing to realize too, if you looked at the follow through, see how that hand's kind of pushing that way and that hand's kind of opens that rather than being straight, which isn't bad, but sometimes I overcompensate and I'll push back that way just a little bit sometimes. So I push and overcompensate to get it back right. That was a pretty decent one. That was a good looking shot. I ain't using my left hand as much. Yeah, man. So yeah, um, that's it, man. Just looking over the reviewing my shot from last time. Um, Not a bad shot, man. So big takeaways. I need to get my right hand a little more underneath the ball. I can show you now. So yeah, my focus is to get. I can't show you. Hold on. All right. So my focus now is to get my right hand more underneath the ball. So you can see I got my right hand a little more to the side, which push my hand here. If I can get my hand a little more underneath it and come up from here, I'm looking for that. So getting my left hand a little bit more on the side, more on top, shooting from here, and getting that follow through, keeping it high and soft, keeping enough power and energy on it to where it flows more. So yeah, man. Uh, Now I know where I'm at. I know where I'm going to. Got the directions to get to my destination. So follow me on this journey, man. Figure out my shot and become a sniper one day. You feel me? So subscribe, follow along. Listen to the podcast, the B-Ball Jones podcast. It's a dope podcast, man. The goal of that podcast is to really give game to younger players and give some game and some thoughts that we wish we heard growing up. Um, to give a different perspective on stuff that a lot of people don't give sometimes when you're talking and having certain talks. Um, and then to have a good debate and good conversation or good talk around certain stuff around the game. The next step is to really you know interview people and get other people's perspective on stuff and get their thoughts and ideas besides just me and my co-host Nelson. So subscribe to that, listen to that. Of course, it's on YouTube right here. It's also going to be on Apple, Spotify, anywhere else you can get your podcast. And follow along on my YouTube, man. I'm dropping a lot more videos now. I'm breaking out a lot of stuff with shooting, shooting form, shooting mindset, a lot of stuff to go around with the game of shooting. Um, and just other stuff with the basketball, man. A lot more videos coming out. Follow me on social media. Anywhere you got social media, it's B Ball Jones, B Ball Jones. That's it, man. So yeah, man, follow on this journey and see where I can go as a sniper, as a shooter. Next week, I'll probably either have you back in the gym or something else. I don't know yet. I'm taking it step by step. So that's it, man. Appreciate you.